Welcome to another episode of Chelsea's Live Line. And of course, I'm your host for today, Chelsea. It's been a long time since I've seen y'all, Chelsea's Live Line fam, but I'm so happy to be back. Today's episode, as you may know, is what dish are you bringing to the relationship table? Some of y'all don't even know what y'all bringing to the cookout, let alone a relationship table. But today, we're definitely going to talk about it. So that way, you know that what you're bringing is just or more equally important than your significant other. All right, I see y'all here. Make sure y'all comment in the chat. Today we're going to get into it for real. So I hope y'all are ready. It's been, like I said, a long time, but I'm happy to be back and be able to talk to y'all today through this live chat. So the reason I'm doing this episode called What Dish Are You Bringing to the Relationship Table is because we have that list. We have that list of things that we want out of somebody else, but are we able to reciprocate a couple things on that list? Anything from that list? Usually the answer is no, because we come unprepared, waiting for somebody else to fix problems that we should have fixed prior to even having a conversation with them. Okay, so what I'm going to start doing is actually going through the word of the day, which relates to this episode. All right, and it says, and Jesus said to them, I am the bread of life. He who comes to me shall never hunger, and he who believes in me shall never thirst. John chapter 6, verse 35. What that means is God is supposed to fulfill your needs. You shouldn't look for man to fulfill all your needs. God said, I am the bread of life. He said, he who comes to me shall never hunger, and he who believes in me shall never thirst. But y'all expecting this person over here to keep y'all fed, to keep y'all clothed, to keep y'all never thirsty again. No, that's why we have all this lust, because y'all are looking for that in man, but y'all need to look for that in God first. Like I said, that's what's coming from John 6, 35. And let's get into the actual show for today. Let's talk about that list. Y'all know them lists. Pull them out. Pull them out. I know y'all got them somewhere up in here. I know you got the list. That list is asking questions such as, oh, I want this in a man. I want that in a woman. You know, that's what a list is about. And half the time, y'all don't even have what's on the list. So the first question I want to ask y'all, anybody in the chat, is, what do you want in a man or woman? What do you look for? If y'all in the chat, make sure y'all leave a comment. Let me know what you look for in a man or a woman when that manifestation process is happening, because y'all got this long list. I'm telling you, and by the time you build a bay, you put that bay together, that bay doesn't look like anything you expected it to look like, because it's unreal. It's not even natural. So therefore, why do we create these lists trying to piece this part together with that part, and it looks like something that you never even seen before? Because it doesn't exist in real life. Nobody's perfect, as we know, but God. So that's one of the questions I do have for y'all is, what do y'all want in a man or a woman? But for me, I don't have to worry about that. I'm thankful to have a king who I had a list before. Let me explain. I had a list before meeting my king, but everything on my list, my king did not meet, but he supplied things that I didn't even have on my list. Okay, so that was one thing. It's like I was looking for this, but he had something else. I'm like, hey, I should have added this to my list, but I'm thankful I didn't, because I wasn't expecting it. When you don't expect something, that's when you actually appreciate when somebody gives it to you, right? Okay, so I'm thankful. And even on his list, maybe he had a list I don't know of, but I know that I for sure didn't have everything on his list. But through the process of actually getting to know my king, I was able to improve myself and modify things that I may not have seen as flaws in the past. Okay, so let's talk more about this. If time is of the essence, do not create that list. If time is of the essence, do not create that list, because best believe, if you already have it, throw it away. A list, as you know, is not what you're going to need to find a man or a woman that you're interested in. You won't get everything you want or need on that list. And that's facts. I can attest to that. Many people can attest to that. Why create a list of imaginary men that you've never met before, right? You're trying to take all these experiences from people who you had encounterments with and then put all of them together to make a new man or a new woman. Where do you do that at? But that's what they tell you. Make this list, check it twice. You know, no, unnecessary, okay? Whatever you want or need, again, I was telling y'all, you should get it from God first. And that's what I was telling y'all before in John 6:35. He who comes to me shall never hunger, and he who believes in me shall never thirst. But y'all trying to go to man for these things, and then y'all be surprised when it never happens, and time is a wasting, okay? So whatever you want, you should get it from God first, and then yourself internally. Don't depend on another man to internally fix this man right here, because we are all man, okay? So again, get it from God, then get it from yourself. unless you have enough time to create a list for yourself, right? You got that list for, I want me a man of this. I want me a this man. I want me a that man. Or I want me a this woman. I want me a that woman. But y'all need to manifest less. Be a little bit more humble. Can we do that? Be a little bit more humble with those lists. Because the question is, what would that man or woman you're seeking for get from you? A lot of people, when I asked this question today, I asked, what are you bringing to the relationship table? Some people said patience. I'm going to get into that. Others said communication, listening. I said unconditional support. And somebody else said, I am the table. I am bringing myself. That's enough. Take me as I am, or have nothing at all, pretty much. But are you really supplying everything that man or that woman wants? Okay. So again, y'all say, I want me a man that has this, that does this. I want me a woman that has this or does that. But that's not enough. Let me talk a little bit about humbling yourself. And let me show you a clip from Kevin Samuels about woman skills.
What are your woman skills?
Okay, I understand.
Do you?
Yes, sir.
What are your woman skills? How can you help a man who's 40?
Well, I guess being a helpmate, biblical terms, supporting. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, and that's why. And the reason I ask these hard questions is because women, young ladies like yourself, to overlook the men that really would be a good fit for you emotionally, because you're looking for a money outcome. Ma'am,
who do you think would be a fit for me emotionally?
Look.
Okay, so Kevin was talking to this lady and asking her, what do you bring to the table? Obviously, she asked him, instead of answering the question correctly, she asked him, what can a man bring me to the table? Bring for me to the table. And he's like, I don't have time for this. I don't have time to answer that. And then Nate, I see you in the chat. You say you want a best friend to enjoy life with. Good to know. Good to know. Awesome. So yeah, again, Kevin said, hey, y'all need to have some woman skills. It is not just cooking. It's not just cleaning. It's actually being there for your significant other. It's about the overall energy that you portray, or carry every day. So stop saying, I want me a this man. I want me a this woman. Instead, manifest less and be humble. Competition is fierce out here in these streets. Okay. Not only do you have to get them, you have to keep them. Okay. As soon as we get them, we say, oh, that's enough. I ain't got to worry about him cheating on me. I got to worry about her cheating on me because I got them in the bag. No, that's not how it goes. It's really not. So you have to bring something to the table other than yourself. Okay. So let's talk about a little bit about what makes you different. And think about that in the back of your head. What makes you different from your competition out here? It's very fierce. There's a lot of women, but not a lot of men out here. So what makes you different from the rest of the women that are out here competing for a man? Or what makes you different from the rest of the men that are out here competing for that woman that you're interested in?
It's not about what you want. It's what value can you deliver to a man who's in the top 5% of earners. You're competing with the women around him. That's what you're competing with. You're competing with women who are already, you're competing with all the women who don't want to work. What are you bringing to the table at 20 that's different than those women? And so when I hear, talk about chemistry and things you'd have to sacrifice, you're already in the, dating a guy at that age is one thing. Yeah, guys will date you, the possibility of sex, but marrying you, no. Because it doesn't sound like you're really in it for anything other than what you want. You want to be taken care of. Okay.
He said you want to be taken care of. That's it. But y'all never have answers on, what makes you different. You got to stand out from the crowd. There's so much competition, so many people out here competing for a prize, whatever that prize may be to them. So you got to stand out. Okay. And at first, like I said, when this manifestation process happened for me prior to me finding my king, I had been a lot like a lot of folks today, where I'm like, I need a man who has this. I need a man who has that, etc. But when I started to say, I want to be this for my future man, I want to be this for my future woman, if you're a man, that's when you actually start realizing that you have to change yourself instead of letting somebody else change you. You have to change yourself for that person. Okay. seriously. And it's long-term changing. It's not just 90 days and then I'm back to my regular self. That's called personality ethic. Okay. So character ethic is what you should always have. But personality ethic is like what appears after that 90-day trial when you see that the person that put on the front for you isn't really for you. Okay. All right. So what I'm just letting y'all know is that instead of saying, I want this out of my man, I want this out of my woman, I want to be this for my future man. I want to be this for my future woman. Maybe I want to be fit for my future man. I want to be, if that's you manifesting that, if that's you manifesting that, then speak like that. Okay. All right. And let me just talk a little bit about Wendy Williams real quick, because she was hating on Tabitha Brown. Okay. Tabitha Brown, the lady I'm showing here with her beautiful family, basically let her husband retire from the police department. But for some reason, Wendy was hating on her because Tabitha is a successful person right now. She's a celebrity. She's successful in what she does. And since he was just a police officer, Wendy's like, oh, you shouldn't let him go pursue his dreams. Tabitha said, you have to have patience. This man was a ride or die man for her. She was a ride or die woman for him. And Wendy wants to hate on that, but Wendy, you got dogged out by a man and you literally put it in a movie for everybody to see. So how can you be like that? How can you hate on this woman for having a beautiful black family? We don't see that too often. So why hate on something good if she ain't did nothing to you? So literally, Tabitha had prayed for Wendy on one of her videos because she said, it's unnecessary for you to come with this hate when I have done nothing to you. So she said, when people are miserable like Wendy Williams, all you can do at that point is to pray for them. Okay. And a lot of people out here need prayer. So sometimes that was what you have to do. You will have haters hating on your happiness because they don't have it themselves. All right. Next, I want to talk about working on ourselves. Like I had past episodes such as Build-A-Bay, and I talked about how we need to work on ourselves. And this is, very apparent to what I'm talking about now. You're trying to make yourself perfect for God. That's one thing. You're here on this earth for him. Okay, so until you do that, ain't no purpose of trying to make nobody else perfect. But again, it starts with like the 1 + 1 = 2. We both got to come in ready to go. Ain't no more, such thing as perfect anyway. But it's like we both got to work on ourselves, each other. We can work on ourselves separately. Then we got to get together to work on ourselves as a couple. Yes, old Chelsea, speak it. Like this was like over a year ago, whatever this was. I don't remember, but had my guest on talking about Build-A-Bay, because it's like, is your goal to make yourself perfect for your bae, or is it for your bae to be perfect for you? Which one is your goal? And I was just saying, you got to put God first, as you saw. And I'm glad I can stand on those statements that I make, because best believe if I say something to y'all, I'm standing 100% behind it. Ain't no switching up unless there was some research that showed otherwise, but I'm coming with facts. That's one thing I love to do. And I appreciate y'all tuning in too. So I'm about to get into some more questions for y'all, but I just want to tell y'all that looks aren't enough either. Okay. I've stated this on previous episodes. Looks are not enough. Men want to date the women that show off their assets. Literally, they want to date the women who look like the beauty queens, but behind the scenes, they're not everything you imagine they would be. And that's when you get, the rude awakening. Okay, so therefore, I'm letting you know that beauty isn't everything, and you should actually look for a woman who is intelligent. Same for the women. We want to date the hood guys. And then at the end of the day, we have a baby with them and are surprised when they put that ring on that finger that we're waiting on. So just be aware that, you got to date the right guys and date the right women as well. Okay. So looks are not enough. That's what I want to tell you.
Even if you're as the world might say, a beautiful woman or a handsome man, that is not even enough for people to want to be with you in terms of a relationship. They may want to sleep with you, but it does not mean that they're going to want to be in a relationship with you. It boils down to personal energy.
And some people don't have personal energy that's good to be shared with others. That stuff is toxic. I'm telling you, some people energy is like, you see them in the room and you're like, what did I do to you when you just walking into the room? Energies are everything. Don't take that for granted. When you see how somebody behaves in front of you, take it as what it is. You see them rolling their eyes for no reason and snapping off with the smallest thing possible. Take heed. Please take heed of that. So next thing I want to tell you is that your education does not matter. Some people have gone on Kevin Samuel's show talking about, I'm a PhD. Okay, well, it should be easy for you to find a man, right? No. That's not the case. Just because you are a high earner, you earn a lot of money as a woman, doesn't mean you're going to find a high earning man that you so want or desperately need, whatever the case may be. Just because you earn money, that means nothing to a man, because a man's supposed to be the provider. Last time I checked, but I need to check with today's finesse culture. But anyway, high earning women who look average will have to actually use their money as a step up, but really just need to level up on their looks. And this is what Kevin Samuel says here.
Many of you women think your money, your degrees, your education, and all that has an impact on your SMV, your number ranking. It doesn't. That's why these women ask the question, well, what about a high earning woman, an average looking high earning woman? Well, if you're an average looking high earning woman, unfortunately, you earn better than you look. We're just going to get into it. And if you earn better than you look, you still only can get men associated with how you look.
You still can only get men associated with the way you look. That's unfortunate. So just try to level up as much as possible. I'm not telling you to go out here and get Botox, none of that, but just be your natural self, because best believe, like I said, this is a beauty competition out here. Everybody's getting the BBLs, all of that. Okay. And best hope you get off that BBL table when you're going down there to Dr. Miami. Better hope you get off that BBL table, because it's not really worth it. A man will still cheat on you with a BBL. Okay. Sorry to tell y'all. And then y'all end up being the ones with the high education. Y'all end up being the ones who end up crying over men who only own a birth certificate. No, stop doing that. Y'all crying over men with birth certificates. Put some respect on y'all name. Y'all carrying that degree. Y'all carry it high, with your head up high. But at the same time, you cry over these hood guys that won't treat you right. And they be mad when you mess up over a good guy. Let's talk about food. I know we all love food, so I want to get into talking about it, okay? The question, let me just talk to y'all. Y'all are invited to my cookout. It's summertime. Things are getting back to normal. And for some, it's been normal. But besides the point, let's say I'm having a cookout. Y'all are invited to my cookout, and you can only bring one dish. You can only bring one dish. So what are you bringing to the cookout, okay? I just need to know, what foods are y'all good at cooking? Let me know. I'm trying to figure out what I'm bringing myself. I'm going to bring some type of sweets to the cookout, but I want to know what y'all bringing. So comment below. Let me know a dish. Type it up. Maybe it could be that mac and cheese, them greens, beans, potatoes, tomatoes, lamb, ham, hog, dog, whatever it is. Let me know what y'all bringing to the cookout, because this is important as I give y'all this analogy I've created when it comes to dating. So hopefully some of y'all in the chat that can let me know what y'all bringing to the cookout. Okay. If not, I'm going to type in what I'm bringing. I'm going to bring some cookies to the cookout. Okay. That's what I'm going to do. So let me just show my comments, y'all. I'm bringing some cookies to the cookout. All right. And while y'all comment, let me know. But let me just say this. I'm bringing cookies to the cookout. But let's say I got sick and I couldn't make them cookies. Can one of y'all watching my show right now, basically bring those cookies for me on my behalf, since I couldn't bring them because I was sick, right? And the thing about cookouts is everybody doesn't have to bring the same dish at the same time, but you can be that replacement if you so desire to be, okay? Because we don't want the main dishes, we don't want the main dishes at the cookout being missed out. So let's say we bring in to the cookout, we bring in ribs, we bring in potato salad, mac and cheese, greens, bringing those for example. What happens when we don't have any ribs, we don't have any barbecue for the cookout? It's not a cookout anymore, but somebody needs to be in the background saying, okay, such and such didn't bring the ribs. Let me get the supply of ribs I got right here in the freezer and pull them out and be able to take care of that so we can still have a cookout. Nate, you're bringing water to the cookout? Okay, well, it is hot. People do get thirsty, so that's cool too. But yes, whatever dish you're bringing, just make sure that you have somebody who just in case you can't bring it, will bring it for you. Be your replacement. Will be your substitute, okay? That's what I'm trying to do. And I'm going to bring this over to what I'm trying to talk about now, about, this dish. Think of your relationship as a daily cookout. You're like, what? Yes. Think of your relationship as a daily cookout. Remind yourself that every day will not be the same menu. Some food will be served cold. Some food will be served hot. Some food won't taste as good every day. The same foods you once loved may start to get tiring, may get worn out from them. But that's when you come in to readjust that menu and bring in some new flavor, right? Or maybe the dish you're bringing gets more bland every year. For some reason, you're missing that little bit of salt that you need to make that dish spectacular like it once was. Maybe it's time to take some feedback on that dish, okay? Because you can do a spinoff off that classic dish and make it taste like it's never tasted before. Just make sure that you take the feedback, because sometimes feedback is needed and we have to be open. So think of your relationship as a daily cookout and you'll forever have success. Think of it in the fact that, okay, I might be missing these ingredients, but I know that my partner can be able to bring them in, mix it up, stir it up together, and best believe this cookout is back to normal. Okay? Think of your relationship as a daily cookout. We have to feed off of each other. It's a continuous cycle of giving and receiving. But a lot of y'all leave out the giving part and are so stuck on the receiving part. And that's how we get into today's finesse culture. Let me talk about it, the finesse culture. We're living in it every day. We got the sugar babies. And I'm not just talking about males. I'm not just talking about females, both. Sugar babies can be males or females. And the way I'm going to explain that is by talking about a previous episode I had from my How to Not Be Direct in the DMs episode. So let me show y'all this clip on the finesse culture of today. PS5 secured, honey. I know PS5 just came out recently. I ain't buying nobody a PS5, but hey, these two guys here, they got their sugar mamas on deck, ready to go with the PS5 secured. Because there ain't no reason this type of couple is going to be able to work in reality. You see, it's just the chemistry is not going to be there. You young, they old, way old, but it's supposed to work. You want this PS5 that bad? Get out there and get a job, and then you'll be able to get it. So yeah, that was me with the how to not shoot your shot in the DMs or something like that. But that just shows you people are so desperate for what they want that they don't care about other people's hearts that they're playing with at the same time. Next, I want to talk about sugar babies from another aspect. There's a lot of women out here and a lot of women, I can attest to this, not for myself, but from women I've seen do this. There's a lot of women out here who are finessing sugar daddies, okay? Now, if you're a sugar baby and you let it be known, that's okay. But there's a lot of women who are finessing, and that's different. When the man doesn't know your intentions, he thinks you have positive intentions, but you're over here trying to finesse him for love. Some women, a lot of women today, because they follow these coaches, are marrying for money. Okay, they're marrying for money. And I wish I can pull up, if I can, I'm gonna pull up this little thing I have found about this woman who finessed this man while we're at it. I really want to talk about that. So that's the reason I did this episode, and I got to find that clip. So in the meantime, I want to talk to you about sugar babies and how y'all better watch out, because these streets are very small.
If you one of these kind of women that think you can take gifts from guys and just bat your eyes, such and so forth, let me tell you, do that if you want to. Listen to them level up coaches if you want to. But the world is a pretty small place, and your name is gonna get around. You may be able to get a couple of things off a couple of simps, but thorough guys, they're gonna avoid you like the plague.
Yeah, the thorough guys are smart. They're not about to let everybody use their money, okay? But finesse culture is definitely real. What I want to talk about is this slide as well. I'm going to read something about this girl who is finessing her sugar daddies. Let me read this real quick. And I have another thing I want to talk about, because this is the reason why I did this episode, okay? And I can't even remember about, what's up. But let me just read this real quick. Okay, update. Remember I mentioned that I have a sugar daddy that I hate kissing because his mouth tastes like toilet water? Well, I couldn't take him anymore. Way too clingy, needy, and weird. He told me I got makeup on his shirt 3 months ago and he never washed it. It's hanging up in his closet. What the heck? So I kept asking for money until he got sick of me and dumped me. It worked. He gonna say, I thought you liked me for me. I was planning our future. What future, old man? He's literally 67 years old. He is the future. And then the last line on the bottom says, but I'm free, y'all can have him. Yeah, I'm telling you, y'all, these sugar daddies are being finessed and don't even know it. And I'm really trying to find this one little thing I had right here. Oh, I found it. Thank you, y'all. Thank y'all for y'all patience. Okay, let me read this to y'all, because this is the reason I did this episode. I found a post somewhere. I'm going to read it to y'all, and then we're going to talk about it. So this is the title of it. My husband lost his job, and I'm considering leaving him. My husband is a plastic surgeon, and he previously made $500 to $700K a year with bonuses at his practice. He was recently let go due to COVID and reducing plastic surgery patient load. He's a doctor. He's only been able to find general practice. His highest offer has been $250K, and he's considering accepting the offer. So remember, he was making $500 to $700K a year with bonuses. Now he would be making $250K, and he's considering accepting the offer. And I think that's pretty good, better than pretty good. I know we need money, but I don't want him to get used to working a low salary and not working hard to get up to the mid 600K, that we are accustomed to. He used to give me a $10K a month allowance, which has now been slashed to $3K. I had to stop getting my nails, hair, and salon services. Well, I got mine done, honey. Not much either with that nude. No, I didn't plan. But anyway, she had to stop getting her nails, hair, and salon services. My monthly shopping has been reduced significantly. I know he might recover, but he might not. And I also know my worth and what I'm accustomed to. I feel just gross having to accept this sort of lifestyle. I know there are other men at his old practice that clear more than $500K a year. And there's no reason I can't get one of those men. We don't have kids yet, and I just don't want to settle for some loser with mediocre ambitions. What should I do? I'm afraid if I leave him too soon, I might find myself in an even more difficult place. Please advise. Yeah, I'm going to advise you, all right. Let me tell you, it's women like y'all that make it hard for women out here that are actually trying to find a decent man. You are worried because you wouldn't get a 10K allowance anymore. Are you able to supply him with that 10K allowance? Obviously not. So since his 250K a year would be mediocre, you must make more than 250K. So you obviously don't need that 10K a month allowance because you make 250K plus. I know you do. You have to, because otherwise you wouldn't be calling his 250K job mediocre. So I'm just tired of women talking about you want allowances. Why do you want an allowance? Allow yourself to walk out the door and get a job. Allow yourself to be responsible and be your own person, be independent. And on your own, at least get your own bag just in case when COVID happened, you would have your own bag then. And thank God you were able to even live in the home that you wanted to live in because COVID happened. You could have been kicked out your house or anything could have happened, but you need to be humble and pray to God that you can release the selfishness that you have in yourself, because it's unnecessary to treat this man like this because he has a 250K job, which is mediocre. Do you not know that like 5% or maybe 10%, one of those two, I think 5% of men out here make 100K plus, I think, or maybe 10%. One of those two, I have to quote Kevin, but I don't have it. But 5 or 10% of men make 100K or more a year. And you're talking about 250K. That's being mediocre. Okay, so let him go for the man at the practice, and he gonna treat you the same way. I mean, he gonna treat you worse than the man you just let go. Because I wish he would find out about you. That's what I wish he would do, and that's finesse culture. Okay, so let me just ask y'all a question real quick. If y'all are in the chat, I want to ask y'all, who's getting more finesse today, women or men? Okay, who's getting finesse today? Who's getting more finesse? I mean, both groups are being finessed, but who's being more finessed? Women or men? Let me know in the comments, y'all. Can't wait to see your responses. But I'm telling you, I'm passionate about this episode today because people are getting finessed steadily. People say they can't find a man or can't find a good woman because of the social media and how we are socially changing the way we respect one another. I just want to know who's getting more finesse. Please let me know in the comments. But I'm just going to say, it's hard because women are getting finesse when it comes to finding a good man because of the fact that they're trying to find a good man, but that man will claim that they're ready for commitment one day, but then all of a sudden say they're not ready anymore. So that's how the women are getting finessed. And also some women are getting finessed because as soon as they get them STEMI checks or any other checks, the men that don't treat them like anything are running to their door to please them. And that's just temporarily. But then men on the other end are getting finessed. Or also women are getting finessed because of the fact that they wait for that ring, but then they get the child first and they expect the ring to come later. There's no light switch of affection after that point. If he didn't want to do it before the child or as soon as you got pregnant, he's not going to want to do it now. And then for men are getting finessed because women are looking for a man with money. women don't even care if you look good anymore as long as you have a man with money. As long as you're a man with money. Okay, Nate, you say you think it's 5% of men make 100K or more. I think that's correct too, because it's a very low percentage. And she thinks that man is mediocre with 250K a year. So I'm gonna say both are getting finessed. I can't really think of which one. If y'all can think of which one are getting finessed more, let me know. Okay. Let me know. Let me know. All right. So let me do this. I'm gonna get into a little bit more. I'm gonna show you this clip from my episode in the past called "Would You Get Married?" I asked the question to my guests at that time about who benefits more from a relationship. Let's take a look at what they had to say and what I had to say from the data provided. Who benefits more from marriage, the man or the woman?
Oh, definitely the man.
Oh,
I'm like, I
Definitely the
ain't
man?
getting nothing out of this.
Definitely
yeah,
the
that's a
man.
tough one.
Y'all say the man? Okay, let me show y'all
Yeah.
something. Okay.
Oh,
So this
okay.
chart here,
Ooh,
this
free
chart here
dinners,
shows
his money.
Yep. So let me read it. Okay. So men, they say, question mark, basically nothing. Women get free dinners, his money, doors held for you, male servants, attention's on you. You're never wrong. Treated like a princess, protection, free gifts. But what they both get is sex, emotional support, and status. So they was like, as you can see here, there's nothing in a relationship that exclusively benefits men.
That's a lie.
Excuse me.
Thank you. I'm glad you said it.
So at that time, my guy Greedy at the bottom, he said, it's a lie. Everybody else was like, it's a lie. Men benefit more. But y'all saw the chart though. They said women get free gifts, treated like a princess, etc. And then I did see you comment, Nate, as well. You said you believe it's 50-50. Honesty is hard to find. That's facts. Very true. Very true. But yeah, 50-50 as far as women and men both get finessed today. They get finessed. It's so hard. It's hard out here for loyal people, but I'm just thankful. Like I said, I've manifested a king, so I'm just trying to help y'all do the same thing. If you want to manifest a queen or a king, either one. All right. So let me show y'all a slide real quick. So again, I was just wondering who benefits more from a relationship, men or women. But I think that women really benefit. It's hard to say. It depends on the situation. Can I say sometimes women benefit because of the financial aspect, being taken care of for the rest of their life without having to work. But then some men can do that as well if they finesse the woman. And then women, you said everyone's getting finesse. Hey, Kanisha. Yes, everyone is getting finesse. You're right. That's facts. I think that's Kanisha. Yeah, because I'm like, Kenny knows. Yeah, it must be. Let me know. I think it is. But yeah, everyone's getting finesse today for sure. So let me talk a little bit about this slide here about this girl who's been dating this guy for 11 years and really just playing herself. Let me see what y'all think. Here we go. Hey, ladies, I have a quick question. I've been with my boyfriend for 11 years and my birthday is coming up. And I asked him for a Chanel purse. He said, no, it's too much money. Keep in mind, he has 2 successful businesses and I never asked for anything. Keep in mind that I cook, clean, take care of everything, and take care of our son by myself while he's out working, and I never complain about it. So what are you guys thinking? Am I asking for too much or expecting too little? Hey, girl. Okay, you must be Kanisha. Hey, girl. Appreciate you tuning in. But yeah, so I'm just going to give my response and let me know what y'all think while y'all typing it up. My thing is this. Okay, she said she's been with her boyfriend for 11 years. Boyfriend for 11 years, those two don't belong in the same sentence. Boyfriend and then 11 years. Those two don't belong in the same sentence. Second thing, you asked him for a Chanel purse. He said, no, it's too much. So why are we having this conversation when you said he has 2 successful businesses and you don't ask for much? You don't ask for anything, but he can't supply that. Okay. You take care of, you said our son by yourself. So it's like you take care of your son by yourself and you take care of everything for yourself, because at the end of the day, you should be talking in singular right now. You shouldn't even be asking people about questions like this. I don't know why some women, they just need to vent to like themselves first for a while, because there's no reason to ask that question. If you typed it up and it didn't make sense to you, there's no further analysis needed on it, if you ask me. Okay. So that's how women get finessed. Women who stay in relationships for X amount of years, you have to give men a timeline. And if they can't fit that timeline and they're going all outside the timeline, then they're out of your time and they're out of time. All right, so this is just a great transition. We're talking about finesse. Now we're going to talk about the last topic of the episode, which is this. Now you have to pay for late checkout. Now you have to pay for late checkout. You're like, what you talking about? Hotels? No. I'm not talking about hotels. I'm talking about late checkout from a relationship. The person that you are with, you've spent X amount of years with them. This lady has spent 11 years with her boyfriend. He got early check-in into her life. But now she has to pay for late checkout to get out into the world and get back into the dating scene again because she was finessed. That's how people play you. They get into your lives early. They spend years with you. They give you broken promises, some that they fulfill just to keep them filling your time. And then once that filler happens and you realize, okay, I'm not getting anything I want. I've been in this for X amount of years and time finally hits you. Then that's when you have to pay for late checkout. So many women this has happened to. So many men this has happened to because we don't build ourselves on loyalty anymore like our grandparents did and our grandparents' grandparents did. Our ancestors did. So what I want to do is play this clip from Pastor Blake's in regards to the late checkout, and don't let them waste your time. That's the biggest lesson I'm going to let y'all take away from today.
If you're a woman that desires to be married, you have to have a certain block of time that you're willing to give a man. Because you don't want a man to eat up a whole season of your life and then you're done with that and now you're thrown back out into the dating scene and you're clumsy relationally. You know what I mean? Your self-esteem has been drained. Your confidence is in the tank. And you say, now where are the good men? Well, you've not been available.
You have not been available, okay, for the good men. You've let them pass you by. And as a result, all this time has passed you by. You're like, what do? I don't know how to get back out here anymore. And then some people are like, oh, I'm waiting for that man to show up. He who finds a wife finds a good thing. So you literally think while you're watching TV, while you're watching Chelsea's Live Line right now, that man is going to knock on your door and say today. No. You're literally dating whatever device you're watching me on. Like as we speak right now, you can't be expecting a man to knock on your door to come save the day. You can't do it. You can't do it. So what I'm saying is that get out there. You can't say, oh, I want to find this man at church, because the same men at church are the same men that you see on Saturday night at the club. Just because they're dressing nice and all of that doesn't mean that they're a good man, and vice versa for the women out here. Hey, sister such and such. Hey, brother such and such at the church. No, you better pray on it, but you also got to be proactive in where you go. You don't want to date a man who you find at the strip club. You don't want to date a man that you find at the club or anywhere else, because where you find them is sometimes where you might lose them. Okay. So let me talk about this. Some of y'all are dating male and female Cedrics. And when I say that, y'all are dating male and female Cedric, the entertainer. Okay. Stop wasting your time. Don't let years go by and repeat the same mistakes that some other people will have. You are in control of your own life. That's what I want to tell y'all. And this is one thing. So if y'all are dating somebody who is a Cedric the entertainer, whether it's a male or a female, let me just say this. A man or a woman who lusts, I cannot trust. This is something I had to come up with. A man who lusts, I cannot trust. Okay? That's facts. Y'all think that, you worried about what your man doing when you're not at home, or you worried about what your man is doing while you're not at home. One of the two, stop doing. Don't worry about that. A man who lusts, you should not be able to trust. That's woman or man both. Okay. And just stop wasting your time. Let me play this last clip and then I'm going to leave y'all with some facts right here.
As you watch this and type with your fingers, you are wasting time right now with somebody that you already know is not a husband. And now maybe 2 or 3 or 4 years later, after we've had this discussion today, you'll wake up and you say, where are all the good men at? You've not been available, babe. At the times that you should have been available, you were preoccupied with somebody that you should have never even given a conversation to.
That's deep right there. Should never gave a conversation to some of these folks. I can say that. I should never give a conversation to some of the folks I dealt with in the past. But now I've readjusted my list that I had. I readjusted my mindset, my internal list. And that's why I was able to manifest. thank the Lord. Like I said, I thank him every day for that because it's an ongoing process when you're in a relationship, but I'm forever learning each and every day. All right, so just stop wasting your time. Just let it go while you have time. And I want to talk to y'all about an unfortunate situation I found out about on Spiritual Word. Let me read y'all this real quick. So this is very heartbreaking. A young man recently slumped and died after reading results of a DNA test that showed the boy he thought was his son all the while did not belong to him. This was after he caught the wife cheating on him with a younger man through Snapchat video. This man is dead today. This man is dead today because a woman played with his heart. A woman finessed him. And I don't even know if she regrets it, but this is all a part of finesse culture. I'm telling y'all, finesse culture, women and men both. This man would have been alive today if he would have known if this son would have been his. Okay? And she's cheating with him and I guess having sex with this younger man on a Snapchat video or however this went down. I don't know, but that's just horrible. DNA tests should be required at birth. That's one thing I'm gonna tell y'all because until you have that evidence, until you have that facts, a paper in your hand, you don't know what you're dealing with out here in these streets. Okay, and that's not the only thing you need to be tested on. You need to be tested on, getting actual STD testing as well, and DNA testing when you're sexually active with somebody. That's two things I want to leave you with. So again, men and women are getting finessed every day. And the next slide I want to talk about with y'all is the last thing here for today. Okay, I appreciate y'all checking in. But here's the last thing. One girl, so on the other side, we just talked about the guy who passed away. That was a negative aspect of things. But I have a positive example to tell y'all about a woman who decided to leave. So she said, I finally decided to leave my boyfriend of almost 3 years. It's the hardest thing I've had to do in a very long time. He treats me well and I am loved, but he cannot stop cheating with other women. He is addicted to the attention and external validation from these women. I feel really bad for him, but I must choose me and love myself first. I cannot break it off immediately because I'm dependent on him for transportation and we just moved to a new state. However, I am building my courage and plan to walk away. I want to lead with love when I do it and give him an exit plan so he doesn't feel abandoned. I would like to ask for prayers and positive vibes as I go through this process because I sure do need it. Yes, you do need prayers. Let me tell you, I'm happy that she's planning to leave, but a couple things stood out to me and I hope a couple things stood out to you as well. If not, I'm going to go over them now. One thing she said, I feel really bad for him. I don't know why you feel really bad for a man who didn't feel really bad for you because he's looking for that external validation and he can't stop cheating. So he didn't feel really bad for you, but you feeling really bad for him. Okay. And then she said, I'm dependent on him for transportation, honey. Go level up real quick. And when I say level up, don't find another sugar daddy or nothing like that. Level up, go get your own transportation, however you can. Because the best thing to show a man when all this is going on is to be your own and get your own. Okay. And you say you're building your courage. You plan to walk away. That's great. You want to leave with love. You want to give him an exit plan. Honey, he's already been exited. He's exited the building. He saw that emergency exit sign, red flashing right in front of your face, right in front of his face, and decided to leave you a long time ago. You're still there. You're still there as like extra baggage. He's cheating. If he's cheating, he already has an exit plan. That's why he's cheating. So he doesn't feel abandoned. You've been feeling abandoned all this times. Come on now. And you like to ask for prayer. So we're going to pray for y'all because at the end of the day, you don't have to give a man an exit plan who has already exited the plan you have for him. All right, y'all. So again, just to reiterate, I want to tell y'all, get rid of those lists that y'all have for people that you're interested in. If you're trying to manifest, you have to be humble because that's how you actually get that future man, future woman that you want. Okay. Hey, what's up, Adriana? I appreciate you tuning in too. So I'm just going over the recap real quick of everything y'all should do. But again, that list, make sure y'all get rid of it because y'all making lists of imaginary people that you'll never find out here in these streets. Manifest less, be humble. If you can't create a list for yourself to actually say, oh, I want to be this for my future partner, then ain't no purpose of you creating a list, right? And think about what dish you're bringing to the cookout because that daily cookout is actually your relationship. Your relationship is going to be a daily cookout. Sometimes it's going to be bland. Sometimes it's going to be extremely flavorful. But regardless, you have to make sure that you keep it balanced. So that way your relationship can be balanced. And sometimes you got to add a little salt like Salt Bae do. Okay. Next, finesse culture. Don't be finessed and don't be finessing and don't give finesse. Like you have to give and you have to receive. And that's where we mix. We miss the whole agenda because we actually receive, but we never give. And that's why a lot of our culture today is finesse culture, is selfish culture. And The last thing is don't be that person that has to pay for late checkout out of a relationship. Time has passed you by, your years have flown by, but it's never too late to find somebody as long as you fix yourself internally, love yourself, and depend on God for that everlasting happiness first and foremost. Okay? Don't depend on man. Yeah, don't get finessed, okay? Because I've seen some stories. And then another thing I want to talk about with you, Adriana, real quick, I want to bring this up is literally, I saw this on your story. Last thing, just be careful out here in these streets. When you have to decline men or women, be careful because Adriana, I know you had shared this where you were saying a guy asked for your number or something and you wouldn't give the number to him. So he was trying to threaten to shoot your best friend or something. It's very dangerous out here. Just be careful and don't say yes to everything. Like you said no to that guy getting your number. Don't be out here. Be careful. Have the necessary tools you need for your protection. Okay, have the necessary tools you need for your protection because people are crazy out here. But like I said, last thing, I just appreciate y'all for tuning in. I will be back in 2 weeks. Might jump on next week. I just really feel good to be back. Make sure y'all share this with a friend, somebody who needs to know that they need to bring a dish to the relationship table. A lot of y'all are saying y'all are the table. So y'all expect people to bring stuff to y'all. But no, you gotta do more than that. You gotta expect you gotta give as much as you expect. That's all I'm gonna tell y'all. So I'm gonna wait for the comments to come in. Again, I appreciate y'all tuning in to Chelsea's Live Line tonight. Y'all could be outside. It is nice weather, but I appreciate y'all tuning in with me. And I know you're about to say something, Adriana. I know, but that's why I'm just being patient just in case the comments coming in. But all I want to say is that let's just keep striving to be a positive community one day at a time. I'm happy that y'all are here listening because a lot of people that you may know of don't take the time out to evaluate themselves, see what they need to fix upon themselves. Life goes by so fast and passes us by, but we don't take the time out to just evaluate where are we at in life. Do we want to be here? Just take something away from this, whatever it may be, whether it's get rid of that list. Don't be finessing people no more because best believe you finesse people, they'll come back to haunt you one day. And don't be somebody who just lets years pass them by and dates Cedric's the entertainers. Don't do it. So I see a comment. Thank you so much, Nate. I appreciate the love. I appreciate you for always tuning in. All right, y'all. With that being said, I'm going to head off of this show. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe to the episode, to my show if you haven't already. I'll be back soon with future episodes. So until then, much love, much peace, much respect, much soul, and all of that. But I'm just feeling good, having a great day. So I'm going to leave y'all with that. Until next time, I'll see y'all in a few weeks. All right. Peace.